It's been a hot minute, but you know we gotta be back for this structure decks, man. The people need it.
Aye. Subscribe.
Structure Deck Fire Kings is another great structure release from Konami with some great staples in there in the form of Imperm and Drawl, as well as a tier 1 potential meta contender engine, at least post Phantom Nightmare, I believe. But today, we're going to be mashing 3 structure decks together as promised to see just how strong the deck can be on its own. Also, because I know a lot of people are going to be asking, I had like a throat infection and lost my voice for the better half of a week or two, so yeah, that's why there's been no videos on the channel. There is a lot of Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly content sort of pre-recorded. Now we just need to smash out the editing on it. Alright, here we go. The 3 structure deck profile. This is going to be a very strong starting point for new players and budget players alike. It is a very cool and very strong deck. There's a lot of just individually decent pieces here, but yeah, if you want to see the actual contents of the full deck, we do have the opening on the channel. You can go peep that. And obviously, we already have Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly going on with the Crimson King structure deck, but I do want to do something with this deck, so I'm thinking we maybe do like a locals Nuzlocke kind of series. So leave a like if you want to see something like that, and let's get into it, baby. All right, so getting into our main deck here, we have 3 of the level 1 little chicken nugget. We got Legendary Fire King Ponix. This is essentially like the only 1-card combo, or the only linear combo as well in the deck. I will show you that combo after, but yeah, this is basically our normal summon, Legendary Fire King Ponix. We also have 3 Fire King Sanctuary. This is most of the time going to be the search target for our little chicken nugget here, at least on turn 1. What this does is it places our field spell to the field spell zone. We are playing 3 Fire King Island. This feels a bit much sometimes, like you could easily get away with 2. However, for the 3 structure decks, we are going with 3 to kind of maximize consistency. Like I said, there's only one card combo in the deck, so having cards that are able to search things is kind of necessary. From there, we have 3 of the new ultra rare Sacred Fire King Garurix. For the combo, we're typically going to be searching this off of Fire King Island and then special summon it and then destroying things from the deck. It has constant recursion from the graveyard as well. It's all around just a super nice card. Then we're also playing 3 of the other ultra rare Fire King High Avatar Kirin. Quick effect to summon from hand by destroying another fire monster, and when this is destroyed, you can summon another Fire King from your graveyard and then destroy any card on the field. So on your opponent's turn, a lot of the time you're going to be destroying this from deck with Garunix. And that's going to revive something and pop a card on your opponent's field. 2 very nice effects on that thing. We are playing 3 Fire Formation Tanky. Tanky isn't like super crucial to this deck, but it does have a few different search targets, which makes it a little bit more versatile. Speaking of which, we are playing 2 Fire King Avatar Arvata and 2 Fire King Avatar Rangbali. So if you were playing the Sinful Spoils engine that's able to essentially special summon our chicken nugget from the deck, you would be using your normal summon on Arvata, and therefore you would want to be playing 3 copies of this. But because our normal summon is basically already being utilized on the chicken nugget itself, we're hardly able to summon this out, which is why we are only playing 2. We still can benefit by destroying this from the deck, for example, to summon things back from the grave, so we don't exactly want to go down to 1. Arvata is a monster effect negation, and Rangbali is a spell or trap effect negation. However, Rangbali can actually special summon itself to the field when a Fire King's destroyed, giving you just kind of additional layers of interruption, which is quite nice. We're playing 1 Barong, which is necessary for the combo. We destroy this from the deck to get a search on the next standby phase. With all our different reborn effects and stuff, we can loop through this, so we only need the 1. We're playing 1 of the OG High King Avatar Garunix. If our board is just not enough to destroy our opponent, typically we will be summoning back the Garunix on their turn to destroy this from the deck. Then that kind of guarantees that what's left of our opponent's monsters on our turn gets destroyed in our standby phase, and then we can kill them with our follow-up. And in that same vein, we also have Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys as well to do the same thing, but for back row. I will say that is the one thing this structure deck is lacking, and that seems to be the case with the previous structure deck as well. There's no back row removal outside of, I guess, Kirin and Nephthys. There's no like Cosmic Cyclone or Twin Twisters or anything. So that is something we may struggle with, but we'll see. We'll see. Moving on from there, we have our other search targets for the chicken nugget. We are playing 2 Fire King Skyburn. You can get away with 1. This is essentially, it's basically a trap card. It's a quick play spell that targets Fire Kings you control and cards your opponent controls, destroys them. When you get into a grind game, you very quickly run out of decent search targets off of Ponix if you are only playing 1 of these, so I thought we could bump it up to the second one because we do have space. And then we're also playing 1 Circle of the Fire Kings as well. This is essentially our second search off of Onyx, which allows us to loop through our combo again on turn 3. From there, we have our non-engine slots. Triple Drolling Lockbird and triple Infinite Impermanence, I think, are no-brainers. We are playing 3 Torrential Tribute as well. It's just a very, very strong card. That gives us a 37 card main deck. The final 3 cards had no clear optimal option, so you can kind of pick and choose whatever you want to play, but I opted to go for triple Fencing Fire Ferret because it synergizes well with the deck going first and second. You'll see from the combo, because this is a quick effect to summon, you can destroy Fencing Fire Ferret if you have it in hand on your opponent's turn to get an additional interruption, pop their monster. It's not once per turn, you get the burn. Going second, it synergizes nicely really well with our destruction effects like Fire King Island. We can just pop this from hand to destroy something, force out some interruptions, and yeah, it just plays really nicely with the deck, but I'm not sure if it's optimal. Definitely a cool option though. For the side deck, honestly, pretty simplistic. We have triple Judgment for going first and triple Power Sink Stone. This is kind of like Skill Drain. It only applies after 2 effects have been activated on the field, however, which obviously barely affects us. So this can just be a win condition going first, which is really, really nice. Now for going second options, we have triple Alpha because Alpha is a good boy, triple Dogoran, and triple Herald of the Abyss. Dude, this structure deck actually has good options against Pearly, which is funny. So yeah, that's the side deck, and then the extra deck we have is just 3 of every extra deck monster. Not much to it, to be honest. This card, though, very cool. All right, here we go with the Chicken Nugget 1-card combo. Fire King Onyx, our little level 1 boy. We are going to normal summon him, and on normal summon, we add a Fire King spell or trap from the deck to the hand. We add Fire King Sanctuary, which is a continuous spell. We are just going to activate that, and that is going to place our field spell in the field zone. We can then activate the field spell, destroying our Chicken Nugget to search for a Fire King monster, which is going to add the big new Garunix to our hand. And on resolution, this is going to trigger because a fire monster was destroyed. It can special summon itself from hand, and on summon, it's going to destroy a monster from hand, field, or deck. So we are going to activate that, destroying from deck a copy of Fire King Avatar Barong, and that's it. That's literally it. It's so simple, bro. From there, we pass turn to our opponent. In our opponent's standby phase, Chicken Nugget is going to trigger because it was destroyed in the next standby phase. It adds itself back to hand, and Barong is going to trigger in the next standby phase. It searches a Fire King card. So we're going to add the High Avatar Kirin to our hand. Now, during our opponent's main phase, because this is quick effect, but it is main phase only, at any point we can trigger this to destroy a fire monster and special summon itself from hand. So we are going to activate this, destroying our Chicken Nugget to summon the Kirin. This is where the Fencing Fire Ferret would come in going first. We could destroy the Fencing Fire Ferret to summon this, and then that gives us an additional pop. But yeah, summoning this here, our opponent plays, and at some point when we want to kind of interrupt our opponent, if they special summon a monster, we can immediately Exceed Summon. So that will be 2 level 8s going into, of course, Garunix Eternity. And when this is Exceed Summoned, it destroys all other monsters on the field. Basically just 1 interruption. It's not like super strong, but it pretty much gives us infinite follow-up. And if our opponent destroys this at any point while it has material, it gets destroyed. It triggers in graveyard to summon back the same number of Fire King monsters as materials it had when it was destroyed. That was 2. So here we could summon back the Onyx and the Garunix. Then Garunix will destroy something from deck. Onyx will search a spell trap. And you can kind of decide where you want to take it from there. You can dump Nephthys if they have back row. You can dump the original Garunix if you want to make sure they have no monsters. You could send Fencing Fire Ferret to destroy a monster just like that. Or you can send Kirin, and Kirin can summon the Barong and pop a card on the field as well. You have a lot of options, and like I said, a lot of follow-up as well, because this is searching something, and then obviously you have stuff to do on your turn as well, especially with Fire King Island still active. Now, that's all well and good for a 1-card combo, but it's 3 cards out of 40. You're not always going to see that 1-card combo, so you're going to have to improvise with the hand that you're dealt, and that's what we're going to do here. Obviously, I am also new to the deck. The engine only just came out, so we're going to be figuring this out together, draw a hand, and see if we can still get to, you know, a decent amount of interruptions. Let's see. So, 5 off the top. What are we working with here? We have... This is where we open the 1-card combo. Fire King Island, Okay. Immediately, we're kind of bricking on too many field spells, but hey, it is what it is. May be able to do something with this. Let's find out. So we're going to activate Fire King Island. We're going to activate the effect, destroying the only monster we have in hand to search for, I guess, Garunix, right? Wait, this actually works. Yeah, okay, so on resolution, Garunix special summons itself because this was destroyed. And then on resolution of that, we destroy a monster from the deck. I guess we just destroy Barong, right? Let's see where this goes. Okay, destroy Barong, activate Sanctuary. Obviously, we already have the Fire King Island live, so we don't need to do that. It is a hard monster return. We can set Circle of the Fire Kings and pass turn to our opponent. During the standby phase, Barong is going to trigger, adding a card. We are going to add the Kirin to our hand. And then we are going to activate the Garunix Engrave, which is going to special summon itself, and mandatory effect, destroy every other monster on the field. Boom. During our opponent's main phase, we can activate Kirin, destroying the Garunix to special summon itself. Then on resolution, Garunix can trigger summoning itself from grave. And then on summon, Garunix can destroy from the deck once again. That could be like Phantom Fire Ferret here, or I guess Kirin, or, you know, we have plenty of options. It just kind of depends. We already have a monster blow up on our turn 3, so we could go for Nephthys as well, just for back row too, which is funny. And then when our opponent special summons, we can get out our level 8 and blow up the board. Now, assuming our opponent doesn't want to destroy Garunix Eternity, we can trigger Circle of the Fire Kings to summon something from grave. And because of that, what we should have sent instead of the Nephthys was actually another form of interruption. Bro, okay, it's kind of crazy. So assuming we destroy the Arvata, we just summon back the Barong. We go Circle of the Fire Kings, destroy this to summon out Arvata, which gives us a monster negate. Garunix Eternity would then trigger, summoning out these two. And then Arvata, when we want to negate a monster, can destroy the Kirin, and then Kirin can pop something as well. Okay. So what looked like a brick hand actually ended up on a very large number of flexible options, and that's kind of the gist of this deck. Like, it's not just one card linear combos, it's literally just improvising and destroying everything. Such a fun playstyle, dude. Hell yeah.